This video covers everything we did today on Monday, November 1st. Our first activity was the Do Now, and we have a new foundational learning target this week. We are working on converting mixed numbers to improper fractions. This is on slide 1 of your class kick. Please pause this video and convert each mixed number to an improper fraction. Again, please pause and come back when you're finished. Okay, so to convert mixed numbers to improper fractions, we need to think about what the whole means and what the fraction means. In this case, we have 1.5, which means we have 1 plus 1/2. We're essentially separating 1.5 into two pieces. We know that 1 whole is the same thing as 2 halves. And so we can put our whole and our half back together with 1 whole rewritten as 2 halves. That gives us a final answer of 3/2. If that confused you at all, think of it this way. When I have 1.5, I could draw it out like so. 1 and a half. I could separate my 1/2, or my 1 whole rather, into 2 halves, which means I could either write this as 1 and 1/2, or I could write this as 1/2, 1/2, and 1/2, for a total of either 1.5 or 3 halves, which means 1.5 is the same thing as 3 halves. Let's take a look at another example. If we're talking about thirds, I know that I have 2 and 2/3 separately. And so I want to think about, in 2 wholes, how many thirds do I have? One of my options is to draw it out the way that I did below. But another option that I have is to think about 2 wholes, in other words, 2/1, is equal to how many thirds? I'm basically converting 2, the whole number, into something over 3. That means that I need to figure out what I'm multiplying the bottom by. 1 times 3 is 3. And do the same thing to the top. And I end up with 6/3. Now, if you were to draw this out as a picture, 2 wholes, I know that each whole has 3/3, and so 2 wholes is the same thing as 6/3. I can rewrite 2 as 6/3, add it to 2/3, and I end up with 8/3. Go ahead and try question 3 on your own if you didn't do it already. Pause the video and come back when you're ready for slide 2. Okay, so the next